Okay. What's up, guys? Wow, sorry about that little issue there, but welcome to the stream. I haven't done this in a while, but um, my name is the Sports Nerd. If you guys have not met me, I do talk the team, which you can see probably behind my very fancy green screen looking background over here. um, but we're gonna get into this game here. Very intriguing game. Very important playoff game tomorrow. One of two tomorrow. And we're going to really talk about, should we really be a little more nervous about this game? Should we be just say, we got this? Should we honestly just look into other parts of the game that we should overlook more than other parts of the game? We're going to get into a lot of that here. We're also going to get into, as you can tell by the title, score prediction for this game. So really, this is going to be just a full in-depth preview of the game that you can expect tomorrow right now. So what it is that we're going to be talking about in this video. So first of all, if you guys have not done so already, like, share, subscribe. I'm currently 2 away from 50 right now. Greatly appreciate if you guys can get me up there. I originally set the goal of to get to 50 subscribers before the end of the season. We are approximately about a few weeks away from that, so only get 2 more. I think we can easily get there. So 50 subs before the end of the year. Greatly appreciate it. And by end of the year, I mean end of the football season, if you guys actually were wondering that as well. But without further ado, let's get into this. So the first thing I do want to understand, actually, let me just move my mic up a little bit. There we go. So the thing is that I think we need to get into this first is we need to look at these teams, especially, because when you're looking at the teams as a whole, I was predicting, well, I wouldn't say predict, I was looking at this matchup for a while, that we could potentially be meeting this team. And if you guys remember from earlier on the season when these two teams met, this game was at the opposite of where this game will be playing tomorrow. It was at Orchard Park in Buffalo, where the Chiefs ended up defeating the Bills. And now, if you're taking that perspective there, if you remember that the conditions were not 100% what they're going to be tomorrow, but I will get into that a little bit later. But the thing is that when you're going into this game, especially when you have teams that are 100% just looking to get to a Super Bowl, and one team that is coming off a Super Bowl championship in yours truly, Kansas City Chiefs, and the other team, which has not made this game in 27 years. So both of these teams are obviously playing for something that they've been wanting to have for a long time. The Chiefs are looking to be the first team to go to a Super Bowl and defend their championship for the first time since the 03-04 run when the Patriots repeated as champions under Tom Brady, who is in the NFC Championship game this weekend. And the Bills are trying to get back to a Super Bowl before, and for the first time since Jim Kelly made 4 straight Super Bowls and sadly ended up losing all of them. So that's kind of what the set of the scene is for this game. We have two teams that have really very much want to get back to the Super Bowl, and they obviously are going to probably, and I'm going to get into the score prediction a little bit later, that it's probably going to be the best AFC matchup I've seen this year. I'm just saying that right now. I'm not going to say why. I'm going to get into that a little bit. But I am saying that this is going to probably be the best matchup in this conference so far this year. So, let's get into the specifics of the game here. And the first thing I definitely need to address here, before I get into any the main keys to the game, we're gonna actually just do the injury report right now. So, looking at the injury reports of both teams, if you look at the injury report right now, that the final injury reports are as follows for both teams. So I'm going to start off with the enemy Buffalo Bills right now, just because I want to get that out of my way. So if you're looking at the Bills injury report right now, it really isn't that bad. I mean, you're looking at, there are a lot of guys on there. If I could just name them, I'll just name a couple big names on there, like the kicker, Tyler Bass, the rookie kicker, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Cole Beasley's also on there, and then a couple other guys on there as well. The good news is for them is that they only have two guys that are questionable, and everyone else has no injury designation. They're clear to play. So the big thing is here and the two guys questionable, by the way, are Vernon Butler and the receiver Gabriel Davis. And then if you're looking at the Chiefs standpoint, you have basically, if you're looking at this, one guy, Willie Gay, who is out right now. Then you have Breland, who is coming off concussion and was just cleared today, so he will be playing. Then you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who has been out since week 15 with that hip and ankle issue he's had. I was suspecting that he probably would be healthy enough and would play this week, but the thing is that I think unlikely. I think he will play, but the problem is with this is that he's not 100%. I was not expecting him to be in the situation, but the thing about this is, even though that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not 100%, I do think he will play though. But the question heading into this, especially with him, is how much is he going to perform with that injury affecting him? The reason why I say that is because, he's been out. I was not expecting this week, as I previously mentioned, for him to really just not be close to 100%. I thought he would be cleared by now. Now, I'm not 100% surprised. I want to not go out there and just risk him being injured again, re-aggravating that injury. That's absolutely not what we want to do here. But the big problem I have here right now, and I think that I really think could be a big factor in this game, is that when you have, especially, I'm going to get to the other ones here, but when you have the injuries piling up, especially with him, who's been extremely, extremely helpful to us basically most of the year, and when you have someone like him go down, I think it really can help out the opponent's team, because it will really help for them to know that they are not going to have a guy like him on that line to watch out for. So we'll have to watch that out. I do think he will play, though. He is questionable at the moment, but we will especially have to watch his progress and how much he will affect tomorrow's game. But moving on, another questionable opponent is, a questionable player is Rashad Fenton, the quarterback. Now, this worries me for a reason. Not because he's not playing, but it's because of the cornerback situation. If you know about our cornerbacks right now, it really is not really our strength right now. You're going up against a team tomorrow who has an all-pro receiver in Stephon Diggs and then an MVP caliber quarterback in Josh Allen. And your goal is of a cornerback, and especially going into tomorrow, I think one of my main keys, I'm just going to say it right here, right now, is shutting down Stephon Diggs. If you let Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs do what they want to do, it will completely just ruin the game plan, I think, from the start. I think just from the start, we need to get them out of sorts and to get them frazzled early and often. Because this is really, if we just let them get, you let Diggs get 200, 210, 220 receiving yards on you, or even 150, you really are going to have to keep up with him and what he does as the game progresses. And I think that is especially could be a challenge when he gets rolling. So, big key number one is to shut down Stephon Diggs. That's number one. Now, moving on with the injuries here, we have another questionable one, another receiver, another one that has appeared on the injury report with this injury pretty frequently throughout the year, and that is Sammy Watkins with a calf injury. Now, this is a little bit torn on this one, because I think that he will play. It is the playoffs, so I'm going to say he will play. But the thing is, though, the thing about Sammy Watkins is that he's not one of those younger guys. He's an older guy on this team. And I think that especially with him, he's already had this injury this year, and I think that the question is how effective will he be? But overall, I think that he will be able to play in this game. But I just think that, especially for a guy that can make such a huge impact, like Sammy Watkins, in these games, especially in situations where you need to have a hero come to you and save the game for you, I think that Sammy Watkins could somehow be that guy, because if Tyreek Hill's being shut down, if DeMarcus Robinson's being shut down, McCall Hardman, if he steps in sometimes, he's being shut down. The thing is that I think Sammy Watkins could be that guy that can come up big. So although that he is listed with this, and I think that he will play, again, question will be, how effective will he be? That's the big one. Now, the next one is really great news, and that is Patrick Mahomes got cleared today, has no injury designation, which is very good. But I will address one thing once I get after this, is that even though he was cleared from concussion protocol, and he had this toe issue, and then he was cleared, so he doesn't have an injury designation, so no toe, no concussion. But the issue I really am worried about with this, and I really hope Andy Reid factors this in, because if you're looking at what this guy can do with his legs when he's 100%, it can really be damaging to the other team. But the thing I'm worried about is that Andy Reid will scramble with him. He can take a shot to the head, and then he can re-aggravate his concussion. And I think that, especially if I'm Andy Reid right now, I would try and limit his scrambling as much as possible, because the last thing you would want to do is with what happened last game, is when he took a shot, when his head went into the ground, and already when he had the toe injury. But the thing is that if he scrambles, and then you're putting him at risk of potentially getting another concussion, and that could further damage his season. Because the thing about concussions, if you guys do not know, is that when you have a concussion the first time, and then you recover from it, the one thing you don't want to do, obviously, is to re-aggravate it. Because if you re-aggravate your concussion, or re-aggravate a concussion, you really, I do not think, within the time frame that we have right now, recover fully to play at full strength. And that's not what we want. Because, especially with obviously playing the team that we are playing, and then we're obviously going to have potentially the Packers or the Bucks and Brady this time. And I think that, especially if you re-aggravate a concussion, it could really be damaging, especially in a guy like Mahomes. It really could damage how the team will play if they advance, and especially in the Super Bowl when you need them the most. So, please, if I'm Andy right now, please limit the scrambling, because you can use him as effectively as you wanted to, but limit the scrambling, because the last thing we want to do is we win, and then he ends up getting a concussion again, and then he ends up not being able to recover by the time the Super Bowl comes around. So, you do the scrambling, though, just to prevent the concussion from happening again, or it being at risk of having a concussion again. Now, last one on here, and this one scares me. LeVeon Bell with a knee issue is questionable. Now, again, if you looked at last week's game, because Clyde was not playing last week, you saw that we had Darrell Williams really do a lot of the work. He did great, but the thing about LeVeon Bell, is that he really can affect So the thing is that, especially with LeVeon Bell, he can really help you out when you're swinging passes out. And I think that, especially when you have a guy like him who could swing out of the backfield, it can really help when you have that kind of guy, because you can really mix up the plays. You can mix up screens to him, handing the ball off, and then, of course, really mixing up who's getting the ball between them two. It can really throw him off a little bit. So, really, I think that when you're doing when you're having a guy who can do that, it really can help. It really can help out a lot. So, I'm a little worried about it. I think he will play it once again, but the question is, how impactful will he be? Now, let me know in the chat right now. You guys can hear me, all right? You guys can hear me, cool? Because I'm getting a little bit of connection here about that my stream may not be completely healthy. And just let me know in the chat. Type 1 if you guys can hear me fine, because I'm getting a little bit of mixed messages here from YouTube. So if you guys can hear me, place 1 in the chat. That'd be great. So moving on. One of the things that moving on with the keys in this game. So the thing is that we will gonna have to do a couple of the things with these injuries in a factor, because we may have some guys that are not 100%, we are going to have to do some things with two of the main things that I think. I already mentioned shut down Stephon Diggs. That's, I think, first and foremost, can really help out this game if we can shut him down early and often. Now, looking at the other parts of the game, defensively, I think we need 2+ turnovers in this game. Here's the reason why. Going back to the Stephon Diggs and those receivers again. When they can get cooking, they will get cooking. When they get on a roll, they will get on a roll. Turnovers in any game will help. I said this time and time again, and I'm going to say it again. If you look at that Browns game, we basically won the turnover battle, but here's the thing. We did not capitalize off of turnovers. And I'm going to say it again. Every turnover that we get, whether it's what I say, which I hope it's 2+, or whether it's just 1, or whether it's any missed opportunity that we get, missed opportunity that they get, and we can get it back. What I need to happen is to capitalize off of missed opportunities. What I mean by this is, let's say the Bills miss a field goal, and then we end up punting again. That's life for them. What happens if we get a turnover, we get an interception, we have it inside the red zone? We end up not getting any points because we missed a field goal. That's life for them. So really, it really will come into a factor about, can we get the turnovers that we can have, that we can affect the game enough? And with those turnovers that we get, if we even get any, or any missed opportunities that the Bills have in general, can we capitalize off of them? I think that just capitalizing off missed opportunities can really determine who wins this game. So key number 2 is to capitalize off missed opportunities, and if so, create 2+ turnovers. Now, the third and final key to this game is going to be maintain a consistent pass rush throughout the game. What I mean by this is, again, I love this key for a reason, because this is a key that really can be applied to every single week, but it can also be one of the most effective and most damaging keys to the other team, is when someone like Brady, let's just take Brady as the example here. When Brady is sacked a certain number of times, if any number of times, it can really frazzle him off and really not make him to the player that we know he used to be, which is basically finding receivers, great accuracy, great passing efficiency, and so on and so forth. And the things that, like that, getting sacks on the quarterback, like something like that, can really, and I mean really, really affect how a quarterback plays, no matter what team it is. So, bottom line is, I think 3+, I said 2+ turnovers would be very helpful. 3+ sacks in this game will really help out. So, really key number 3 is going to be have a consistent pass rush maintained throughout the entirety of the game, and also, if at times, get 3+ sacks, and I think we can win this game. So those are my keys to the game. You have shut down Stephon Diggs. You have, win the turnover battle, preferably 2+, and capitalize at the same time off those missed opportunities, including turnovers, and maintain a consistent pass rush. So, what is my score prediction for this game? My score prediction for this game is going to be in a shootout. But the line on this game, if you guys can tell, let me just get the line real quick, is that the line on this game is Chiefs are favored by 3 points. So, effectively, that is home field advantage. So let's just take away the home field advantage aspect of it. It's a pick'em game, practically. So, really, this is going to be an extremely close game. I think this is going to be a shootout. So I have the Chiefs winning this game, and they will absolutely, I think, although it is a 3-point line, I do not think they win by 3. I think there will be a 7-point victory, but final score 37-30. the Chiefs win this game. I think it's a high-scoring battle. I think that defenses are going to struggle, but I just think that, once again, I think that key number 2, which is capitalize off missed opportunities and create 2+ turnovers, can really help out in this game. So, and I think that will be the difference maker as well. So I think that just because of what I'm predicting, I think 2 turnovers can happen in this game. And I think that will be 2 opportunities that the Bills will have that they will not be able to capitalize on because they get 2 interceptions or a combination of 1 interception or 1 fumble. And I think that the Chiefs will win this game 37-30 in a shootout. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button down below. Almost at 50 subscribers. Hopefully to get there before the end of the year, which is after the Super Bowl. I am officially right now, as I started the stream, 2 away. So I would really greatly appreciate it. The best way to show support, subscribe to this channel. I really greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Nick LaBow and Hale in the chat. Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. And the thing is that we need to always help subscribe to any other members that you can. Because quick little lesson for you guys. Subscribing to another person's channel when they really need it can really show a lot of support that they are doing. You're liking what they're doing, and also can help them reach goals of subscribers so that they can actually do what they want to do in the future and promote their channels in the way they want to promote it. So, if at any point you have not done so already, I would gladly appreciate, and I mean gladly appreciate, if you guys hit that subscribe button. And y'all know the goal, 50. Hopefully you can get me to 50 subs, my first 50 subs before the end of the Super Bowl. And until next time, my name is the Sports Nerd. And until next time, go Chiefs. Signing off.